For all those who remember these guys, easily one of the biggest band in the scene, but how did they get so big? What's their story? That's what we're gonna find out today. So my friend, as usual, take a cup of coffee, cigarette, jello, whatever you feel like as we explore the Vel of Maya Myspace era. Real quick, before starting the video, if you didn't join our Discord yet, what is wrong with you? I'm kidding. But for real, it's amazing, we have a great community, feel free to join. We also have our live show on Twitch every Wednesday and Fridays, and we're actually hanging out for hours, like 6-7 hours with you guys, talking about music, exploring the Myspace era, and even music from today, new deathcore, metalcore, whatever. We're having a blast. And again, all the infos are going to be in Discord. With all that being said, let's start the video. So the band was formed in 2004 in Chicago, Illinois. And before Vel of Maya, most of the band members were in a melodic death metal band called Insurrection, which unfortunately I couldn't find any music. I think there's a new band called like that, but yeah, it is what it is. In 2004, they didn't release any music, but they took the year to write and to do their thing, and in 2005, they released an amazing demo. Alright, I don't think you realize how early it was to release a demo like that. We're talking about 2005 here. First of all, you can already hear the Vel of Maya trademark sound, which in itself is very hard to accomplish. Most bands, it takes like, you know, a few demo, a few EPs, whatever, to find their actual sound, but as much as it was different than what it would become with time, they still found their personality and identity very early on, which was quite impressive. The mix of very technical death metal riff with like metalcore, fast, weird breakdowns and stuff like that, it was very unique. The vocals were really sick. I mean, it was suiting the vibe they were aiming for very well, I believe. And I love that, you know, he was using his lows during the breakdowns and stuff, and the highs were more during the melodies, and it was just very well done in my opinion. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any live performances for 2005, and during my research I couldn't really find anything else that happened for the band. But in 2006, the band came back with their first full-length album called All Things Set Aside. my god, that was pretty sick. I mean, it was almost sounding like deathcore, right? Velvet Maya is known to be a metalcore or maybe technical metalcore band, but on this one, it truly sounds like deathcore. Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, I think it's very important to mention that this album was self-produced. Also, as you might have noticed, on this album you can hear the clicky double pedal type of thing that they would do on their next albums, which, if you ask me, contributes a lot to their personality and identity as a band. Also, I know I've mentioned this in my Born Over Cyrus video, but I always kind of associate Born Over Cyrus with Velvet Maya, especially back in the days. They were kind of on the same rise with this technical kind of thing going on. And I don't know if you remember, but Born Over Cyrus early on would release these rap songs. So funny enough, Velvet Maya actually did that too. I'ma get acquitted, sitting on a fist full of dope, headed on by the city. But yeah, honestly, I do believe this album still holds up, even if it was self-produced and it wasn't the best quality. I mean, you know how much I'm into raw sounding albums, right? And yes, this time I was lucky enough to find an actual live performance in 2006. Super sick. Alright, usually I kind of mention the lineups and the changes, but in certain cases like Velvet Maya, I won't go into, you know, every changes they made because they've been through a lot of changes over the years. But in this case, I think it's important to mention that Adam, their original vocalist, after releasing this album, actually left the band. Don't really know the reason, and was later replaced by Brendan Butler. Super cool guy, great vocalist, amazing performer. I mean, no disrespect to Adam, but to me, when I think about Velvet Maya, I picture Brendan on stage with them. Unfortunately, Adam wasn't the only one leaving the band. Their former guitar player, Brian, also quit, leaving Mark as the only guitar player left. I did find an interview they did in 2007, not long after Brendan joined the band, while they were on tour, and I don't know, I thought it was worth including it in the video.
All right, now Brandon, you've been with the band just a few weeks, right?
Yep, I started practicing with them about a week before the tour, did a couple shows, and then we came out on the tour. So, it's going awesome though.
By the way, this has nothing to do with anything, but during the same interview, they ended up playing a game called Hungry Hungry Hippo or something.
Are you guys fans of the game Hungry Hungry Hippos?
Hell yeah. I'm totally into Hungry Hungry Hippos.
Yeah, I love Hungry Hungry Hippos. We actually gotta find one of those. Play that sometime. I haven't played it since I was a little kid.
Go.
I honestly don't know why I wanted to include it in the video. I just thought it was random and funny. But yeah, anyway, as you can imagine, the live performances in 2007 were insane. Awesome, right? But what's even more awesome is that in 2008, the band actually got signed by Sumerian Records. Very big upcoming label at the time and very big label today. And I feel like they had the perfect team to bring Velvet Maya to the next level. Alongside their peers in Born of Osiris, who got signed around the same period of time, I believe. Which brings us to April 2008, when the band released their famous album called The Common Man's Collapse. Man, I mean, easily one of the best album I've ever heard in my life. So iconic, so unique. I mean, I think it's fair to say that it's a masterpiece. This is when, I believe, Vel of Maya became Vel of Maya. And you know how much the metal community enjoyed shitting on metalcore and deathcore back in the days? Well, Vel of Maya is one of those bands that you couldn't do that. I mean, on this album, it's so technical, so perfectly executed. It was flawless and just undeniably good. I don't know how to explain this, but their music is satisfying and relaxing at the same time, even if it's kind of brutal too. I mean, the riffs are so well written and all the melodies just stays in your head. It was like emotional and uplifting at the same time. It was a whole new vibe, you know? As I mentioned, it was the first album featuring Brendan's vocals on it, and I think he did a perfect job. I don't even know what to say, it was just flawless. Also, can we appreciate the fact that Mark was the only guitar player on this album? I mean, dude, if you ever watch this video, you're awesome. Honestly, almost every breakdown is iconic on this album, and I think the reason is it was as technical as much as it was catchy at the same time, which is very hard to achieve. Even if it would be released today, it would still be considered a masterpiece. The only official video I could find was a live performance video for the song It's Not Safe to Swim Today. Pretty cool video, but if I'm honest, I was a bit surprised that Sumerian didn't release any other official video. And it's one of those things where I was looking for interviews and stuff like that, but I couldn't really figure out why. Maybe they were touring too much, I don't know. But yeah, talking about touring, of course the songs were extremely well received live. Oh yeah, I mean, this is when Vel of Maya really blew up. With the release of the album, everybody was jamming it, talking about it. I still remember I was in high school and everyone was talking about Vel of Maya. They even had the reputation of having multiple mosh pits at their shows. It was something else. Just to give you an idea of how quick they became popular, in 2009 they were touring with Suffocation.
So you guys are on tour now with Suffocation. Like, that's gotta be fucking awesome, right?
Yeah,
It's
pretty badass. Awesome.
Are they cool? Have you hung out with them? Are they cool dudes?
Yeah, all the time.
Suffocation is the coolest death metal band
They're
ever.
really sweet dudes. I like them a lot.
And of course, as you can imagine, the band was blowing up on MySpace. It was crazy. Back in 2009, a year after releasing the album, doing their thing, they were even more solid live. You could tell that they were more confident and the crowd was going insane for them. But yeah, instead of explaining it, I'm just gonna show you. so freaking unreal. I mean, if you saw them live during this period of time, just let me know in the comments. I'm very curious about how your experience was. Unfortunately, the original bassist, Chris, had to quit the band, and he was replaced with their friend from Born of Osiris, Matt Pentelis. Then the band moved on, kept doing their thing, touring, until in April 2010, the band released their brand new album called ID. Dear God, I mean, Veil Maya did the impossible and released a second masterpiece. Do you have any idea how hard it is to follow an album like Common Man's Collapse and not only do a good album after that, but to create an even better one? And yes, don't get me wrong, I still have a thing for demos and EPs, and I do enjoy their previous material a little more, but objectively it was a better album. It was an evolution for them, clearly, and as I was going through the comments and stuff like that, most people agreed to say that ID would be like their best album. Also, they actually recorded with Michael Keane from The Faceless, as they did with their previous album, which I completely forgot to mention. Sorry about that. And in terms of album concept, I think it's pretty cool that they did some reference to Lost and Dexter, two amazing series. And even the name of the album itself was actually a reference to a PlayStation game called Xenogears, which I actually never played. Is this good? Let me know in the comments. The album, of course, was extremely well received, scoring number 107 on the Billboard 200. They then released their iconic video for the song Unbreakable. Unfortunately, they had to change their bassist once again from Matt to Danny Hoser. Also, while we're talking about their lineup, I just realized that I didn't really talk about Sam, their drummer, which in my opinion is one of the best drummers out there, period. Such a great artist, it's insane. So now, are you ready for the live performances? Let's go.
Show me how the fuck you do things out here! This is all the time it is. When I say
Holy shit, man. I mean, at this point, the band was just on fire, doing their thing, being one of the biggest bands in the scene, touring with amazing artists. And as they were doing all that, they started working on new music. So they went back in the studio, only this time it was with Misha from Periphery. I don't think I need to tell you how talented he is. Which brings us to January 2012, when the band released their brand new album called Eclipse. Pretty cool album, I mean very different, at least to me, in terms of ambience and general feels to it. It kind of sounded more like Sumerian. They had this futuristic ambience to it. And of course, I don't think it was a bad thing. It always depends on what you personally like, but in my case, I believe that it was lacking a little bit the classic Veil of Maya type of thing, like the ambience you had on Men's Collapse and ID was a little less present in my opinion. That being said, still an amazing album. I think the technicality, the music, everything, I think it was very good, well executed. Once again, Brendan really killed it on vocals, but unfortunately, this was the last album featuring Brendan. So now I guess the real question is, what happens next? That's gonna be for part 2. As usual, if you enjoyed the video and you want to support the channel, just leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, I always enjoy reading it, and I'm so glad I did a video about Veil of Maya, such a legendary band, you know? I personally think that a part 2 would be very interesting, but let me know if you want one. And on that note, I'm gonna stop talking. I'll see you in the next one.